The Premier League is nearly upon us, so might as well do a prediction just to settle us in. And this could go terribly wrong, or I could end up looking like a genius. So hopefully the second one, but let's get into it. So in 20th, it's Brentford. Now Brentford are going to suffer second season syndrome, and it's going to be painful. They've signed Ben Mee, good centre back. They've signed Aaron Hickey, one of the most in demand British fullbacks about. They've lost Ericsson, sort of expected to happen, sort of a surprise, but we've seen this happen before. We've seen it happen with Sheffield. They had an amazing season, amazing first season up, and then lost pretty much every game. We then saw it with Leeds. They did alright, they got top half, I think, and then they narrowly avoided relegation. I don't think Brentford are going to be quite as lucky because, like Leeds, they just don't have the manager or the players. So Brentford 20th. 19th is Bournemouth. Scott Parker is just not an inspiring manager. He is going to send the South Coast club crashing into the Championship, and we're just along for the ride. They've signed Tavernier from Middlesbrough. He did okay, but he's Championship standard. And they've signed Ryan Fredericks. He's got a bit of pace in him, but as a defensive right back, I'm not so sure. And they've lost an amazing centre back of the game and quite a leader as well, someone that you would trust to guide them through this relegation battle in Gary Cahill. So it's going to be a long season for Bournemouth fans. 19th. 18th is Southampton, and Ralph Hasenhüttl is just not trusted by these players or the fans. The board might trust him, but I'm not so sure anyone else does. I think poor results are going to catch up to them. Hasenhüttl is going to be booted out of the door. Honestly, he should only manage Red Bull clubs. It's the only way he's ever going to do well. They've signed the likes of Gavin Bazunu, just a replacement for Fraser Forster, to be honest. Joe Aribo has come in from Scotland. It's alright, but they've lost Shane Long, scorer of the fastest goal in the Premier League ever. How can it materialise for them? It's just not happening. 17th, Brighton. Now, you've heard of one-to-way players, and they do have that in Mark Cucurella. But there's also one-to-way managers. Graham Potter will want the England job, especially after the World Cup, because England, no, it's not happening for England. But that's a whole other video, and I'll get onto that later. But it's not going to happen for them. Potter is going to be trying extra hard to get his attractive, appealing style of play across to the masses, so that he can appeal for the England job. And it's just, Brighton are going to suffer because he won't adapt for the style of play they need. They've also lost Basuma, and all their signings have been just uninspiring. I don't see how they're going to get anywhere near last season's performance. It will be close. 16th, Leeds. Narrowly avoided relegation last year. and they're going to narrowly avoid it again. These signings, they're okay, but they're inexperienced. If you consider what they've lost in Rafinha and Phillips, and then what they've gained in Aronson, who in a roundabout way will be a replacement for Rafinha, allowing Dan James to play on the wing and Rodrigo to play up front. And then you've got Rocker and Adams to fill in the place for Phillips and allow Koch to play at centre back. They've not improved at all. It's inexperienced signings. None of their signings have played in Premier League minutes yet. It's not going to be the mid-flight charge that the fans are expecting, and it's just going to be costly for them. '15th, it's Fulham. Now, Fulham, probably a team that most of you were expecting to finish drop dead last, but there's some half-decent signings, and I mean, to be honest, they'll be the best of the rest. It won't be an inspiring relegation escape from... It won't be an inspiring escape from Marco Silva. It's not going to be anything special. They're just better than what's behind them. But in 14th, it's Nottingham Forest. And Forest are here for their long-awaited return to the Premier League. As two-time European champions, this is where they should belong, but they shouldn't be hoping for that European push just yet. This isn't the season for that. Steve Cooper, however, underrated manager, and they've done some quite good business. If you consider the departures, they were all of championship quality. They've not left anyone who thought they were bigger than the club and expected the club to go down, like Buendia leaving Norwich last season. There's some good players. There's Nico Williams from Liverpool, regular Wales international. There's Richards. They've signed Jesse Lingard on a free and Dean Henderson on loan, who's gonna absolutely smash it this season. 13th is Wolverhampton Wanderers. Now, Wolves, it's just going to be the same as last season. They've signed Collins and lost Marçal, pretty like for like, to be honest. They'll probably lose Neves at the moment, as Neves is still at the club. I'm going to say it's the same as last season, and there's barely any changes. Adama's come back, but Trincão's left. Now, in 12th place, I've gone for Everton. It's quite a jump from last season, but they do have a full season of Lampard. Lampard's had time to establish what he wants with his squad. They've signed Tarkowski and McNeil from Burnley, and they've got Vinagre on a season-long loan. Good left back, should start ahead of Mikolenko, and I'll be excited to see what happens there. They have lost Kenny and Delph, two borderline players, but Richarlison, a big loss for them. Will they keep Moise Kean? Will he leave? Who knows? I think there's enough in there for this 12th spot. I'm not too sure about anything else though. So, 12th for Everton, and that's where we leave it. 11th, Newcastle United. Now, Newcastle are going to have a full year of Eddie Howe. They've got Sven Botman and Nick Pope. Alongside Fabian Schär, that's a back three that's terrifying most. And they've cleared quite a bit of the deadwood. The massive money signings haven't quite come in yet, so we'll wait to see how that happens. That's probably a project for a few years down the line, to be honest. It's not happening anytime soon. 10th place, Crystal Palace. Now, Crystal Palace, the main reason I think they're going to get 10th place this season, Sam Johnston. He is, I think, better than Guaita, better than Butland, and with Gahey and Anderson in front of him, it's such a scary proposition. I don't think, for a mid-table challenging team, I don't think you get much better than that. Yes, they've lost Kiate, but they've signed Czech Kure, I think he's called. So we'll see